Tamam bitir.
Hello Motoroids, my name is Amit and this is the Tata Curvv, the all-new concept EV from Tata. Now we know that Tata has been ahead of the curve anyway in the EV game with the Nexon and the recently launched Tigor EV. But with this car, they want to be properly launching themselves in the EV space. And I know that you have seen the official video that Tata have come up with, but trust me, there's a lot more to this car than what you have seen in that video. And today I'm going to tell you everything about this car. And there really is a lot of interesting stuff that you'd want to know about this amazing new concept from Tata. So stay with us and watch this video till the end. Let's get started.
To start off, the Curvv will be an EV first, though an engine-powered version will also be released later. No exact specifics on the power, range, etc. yet, but the sexy-looking SUV coupe is expected to boast an official range of 400 to 500 kilometers in its EV form. Now, the first question that a lot of people ask is, even with all its edgy cuts and creases, why is this vehicle called the Curvv? Well, the swooping roofline, which defines its SUV coupe design, is arguably the only curve on the car and lends it its name. Also, according to Tata officials, the Curvv is ahead of the curve in the EV game and thus, again, the name. In terms of size, the Curvv is 4.3 meters long with a wheelbase of 2560 mm, width of 1870 mm and a height of 1616 mm. To put things in perspective, that makes the Curvv as long as the Creta and wider too, although the wheelbase is slightly shorter and it's not as tall either. The Curvv boasts the next-gen design language of Tata Motors, which they are calling the digital design language, spearheaded by Martin Ullrich. The car features beautiful surfacing which is clean and very tastefully done, with plenty of sharp angles, triangular shapes and recesses all around. A highlight of the Curvv's design is its all-LED beautifully designed lighting. The front gets a light bar connecting the DRLs and blinkers which extend onto the bonnet. The multi-layered triangular headlights are placed in the bumper. A highlight here is that they'll greet the owner with a beautifully designed welcome sequence as he approaches the car. The lights can swipe in and out on the central light bar as well as on the blinkers and DRLs. The triangular headlight also has some dance moves of its own. Both headlights are flanked by air curtains for better aero and to reduce air turbulence around the aerodynamically designed beautiful wheels. The wheels on the show car are a massive 20 inches but will be smaller on the production car, although Tata is claiming that almost 95% of the car will be kept as it is for the production version. The Tata logo protrudes out in a 3D fashion both up front and at the rear. The bumper also gets a high-tech glossy black ribbed design which looks very futuristic. The traditional humanity line isn't there like a grille but is expressed as a surface below the bonnet line. Talking of the bonnet, some beautifully designed creases and two supercar-like inlets on top lend the Curvv plenty of aggression. When looked at from the front, the Curvv looks wide, squat and muscular in its own right. An interesting detail to note is that the nose and the rear of the Curvv create a 3D layered effect when looked at in profile and make it look really special, also pointing to the attention that has gone into the design of this beautiful car. On the side, the wing mirrors are replaced by cameras. Of course, we'll see mirrors on the production car as the regulation demands it. Squared off wheel arches with piano black cladding look nice. The cladding on the sides is also not a vanilla affair and has detailed ribbed surfacing like we saw up front and at the rear. The profile is beautifully done and looks clean, with the swooping roofline being the defining element of this car's design. Reminiscent of the BMW X4 in some ways, the Curvv shows the potential to take the design game in its class to the next level. The roof, although sloping down in a coupe-like fashion, has been extended back as much as possible to increase the headroom for occupants and to give the car its sex appeal without compromising on practicality. A beautifully crafted recess under the C-pillar and vertical striping on the black quarter panel are some other signature design elements which look striking. The Curvv looks fabulous from the rear as well. Just like the front, the LED light design at the rear is absolutely stunning. It's all dynamic with LED lights swiping in and out and creating quite a show. The LED stripes are placed not only as taillight clusters on either ends but also on the rear windscreen. Heck, there is also a vertical stop light on the bumper. The Curvv is a notchback, which means that the entire rear end, including the windscreen of the car, will lift up electrically to reveal the boot, spelling great convenience and releasing additional storage space as well. The boot capacity of the vehicle has not been specified though. The rear bumper styling is in line with the front and looks beautiful, although the Curvv looks not as aggressive but slightly softer when viewed from the rear. The Curvv in totality looks stunning to say the least. If it really can keep a large part of its styling in production form, it will indeed set the segment bridging the Nexon and Harrier on fire. On the inside, the atmosphere is evolved, clean and fuss-free. This is one of the neatest dashboards you will ever come across. And the idea here was to keep it driver focused but without alienating the passenger. The steering here is an all-new 2-spoke unit with an illuminated Tata logo, and this will be a highlight for future Tata cars as well. The central screen is 12.3 inch in size, while the instrument console is 10.2 inches. The buttons for windows are all capacitive touch units and the doors are motorized too. So you have to press a button on the door panel to open the electrically operated doors. The footwell area under the dash is all open, allowing for a free movement of legs, especially for the front passenger. There are no physical louvers for AC vents, and the flow control will happen through the capacitive touch panel below the dash, using new gen flow control technologies like Quanda mode on advanced ACs. The LED ambient lighting here meshes seamlessly with the golden inlays on the dash. So while during the day the golden inlay adds to the beauty of the cabin with its physical form, in the dark the same panel lights up to completely transform the cabin ambience. The fabrics used for dash upholstery and seats are high quality recycled materials, similar to what is used by global sneaker brands in their high-end shoes. This is a step towards sustainability and is very welcome. Even the foot mat is made of recycled waste leather. The look and feel of the materials is pretty impressive too. The seats are an all-new design and are shaped like sofas for individual passengers. The buttons to control the electrical adjustment of front seats is also a new design. The front seats rest on slim mounts, which releases a lot of space for the feet of the passengers in the back seats. So the seats aren't just trendy looking but also quite practical. The panoramic sunroof is a fixed type, which means it won't slide open, at least on the concept car. The ambience inside is truly premium. The color, the texture and the overall design is clean and feels very upmarket. It is a nod to the fuss-free, minimalistic Scandinavian design, which by all means is welcome. Overall, the Curvv is a fantastic study in design, one of the most extraordinary by an Indian car manufacturer. We loved what we saw, and if a large part of this beautiful design could be kept and be meshed with some good powertrains and features, the Curvv can prove to be the truly global product Tata has been looking for all these years. The Curvv is slated to be launched in the next 2 years. What do you think about the Curvv? Do let us know in the comments section. If you like the video, smash that like button. Subscribe to Motoroids and share this video with your friends who may be interested in knowing about this stunning new car. Until next time, this is Amit Changani signing off. Rev hard, rev free and drive safe.